A great Bible passage to read before bedtime is Psalm 91, which is often called the Psalm of Protection. It offers comfort, peace, and a reminder of God's protection and care over those who trust in Him. Here is an excerpt. Psalm 91, verse 1 through 4, Nivi. Whoever dwells in the shelter of the Most High will rest in the shadow of the Almighty. I will say of the Lord, He is my refuge and my fortress, my God in whom I trust. Surely He will save you from the fowler's snare and from the deadly pestilence. He will cover you with His feathers, and under His wings you will find refuge. His faithfulness will be your shield and rampart. This psalm offers a sense of peace and assurance of God's protection, making it a perfect passage to read before sleeping. Psalm 91 is a beautiful passage in the Bible that talks about how God protects and takes care of those who trust Him. It's like a promise that God will keep us safe, no matter what scary or hard things happen in our lives. Let's break it down in a simple way. Imagine that God is like a strong, big house. When it rains really hard and there's thunder and lightning, where do we go? We run inside, right? In the house, we feel safe because the roof keeps us dry, the walls protect us from the wind, and we don't have to be afraid. That's what Psalm 91 is saying, that if we trust in God, He is like a safe, warm place where we can go when we're scared or worried. Verse 1 to 2, Whoever dwells in the shelter of the Most High will rest in the shadow of the Almighty. I will say of the Lord, He is my refuge and my fortress, my God in whom I trust. This means that when we stay close to God, it's like sitting under a big shady tree on a hot day. God is the strong one who protects us. Just like how you feel safe when holding your parent's hand, you can feel safe because God is with you too. Verse 3-4, Surely He will save you from the fowler's snare and from the deadly pestilence. He will cover you with His feathers, and under His wings you will find refuge. His faithfulness will be your shield and rampart. Here God is compared to a mother bird. Think about a mother bird covering her babies with her wings. She keeps them warm and safe from danger. God is like that. He wraps us in His love and keeps us safe, like the bird protects her chicks. It's like when someone you love hugs you tightly and you feel better when you're scared. That's what God's care is like. Verse 5-6, You will not fear the terror of night, nor the arrow that flies by day, nor the pestilence that stalks in the darkness, nor the plague that destroys at midday. Sometimes we might be scared of things like the dark or loud noises at night. But these verses tell us we don't have to be afraid because God is always with us, even when it's dark or things seem scary. It's like having a flashlight with you in the dark. God's love shines bright and keeps us from being afraid. Verse 7-8, 1,000 may fall at your side, 10,000 at your right hand, but it will not come near you. You will only observe with your eyes and see the punishment of the wicked. This means that even if many things go wrong around us, God will keep us safe. Imagine you're in a big storm, but you have an umbrella that keeps you dry while everything around you is getting wet. That's how God takes care of us. He keeps us safe even when things are tough. Verse 9-10, If you say, The Lord is my refuge, and you make the Most High your dwelling, no harm will overtake you, no disaster will come near your tent. If we say, God, I trust you, then God will always be there for us. Nothing bad can come too close because we have God as our protector. It's like having a shield or a big fence around your house, keeping everything bad away. Verse 11-12, For He will command His angels concerning you to guard you in all your ways. They will lift you up in their hands so that you will not strike your foot against a stone. This part tells us that God sends His angels to take care of us. Angels are like God's helpers, and they watch over us to make sure we don't get hurt. Just like how your parents watch you so you don't fall when you're learning to ride a bike, God's angels are always around, keeping an eye on you. Verse 13, You will tread on the lion and the cobra. You will trample the great lion and the serpent. Even if there are things that seem really dangerous, like lions or snakes, God will help us be brave and safe. It's like having super strength or being able to do something really hard, but with God's help, nothing is too scary. Verse 14-16, Verse 14, Because He loves me, says the Lord, I will rescue Him. I will protect Him, for He acknowledges my name. He will call on me, and I will answer Him. I will be with him in trouble. I will deliver him and honor him. With long life, I will satisfy him and show him my salvation. This is God speaking directly to us. He says that because we love him, he will always help us. If we call out to him when we need help, he will answer. God promises to be there, especially when we're in trouble. And not only will he protect us, but he will also make sure we have a good life and show us how much he loves us. So Psalm 91 is like a bedtime story that reminds us God is always protecting us. When we're scared or don't know what to do, God is like a big, strong hug or a safe home. We can trust him to keep us safe no matter what. Just like you don't have to be afraid when your family's nearby, you don't have to be afraid because God is always with you.